let's just see what I have here. It's men. So, Dan, you want to read the interviewer, the boss, rather? And let's see, Ralph, you only were right in the beginning. Why don't you read the applicant?
All right.
And Tammy, where's Tammy? Tammy, I know you didn't do much. Would you like to do stage directions? I had
Sure.
such a little tiny part
Oh,
before.
yeah, okay.
So that I think everybody else got to read at least.
Yeah, but she was naked, so it's okay.
Yes,
Well, that's true.
Oh, she
Thank
did.
you.
She got maximum exposure.
Very good.
They might,
Am I the,
Yeah.
am I the boss?
Yes, you're the boss. And here's your stage directions.
great.
Okay. And so, yeah, read the.
Starting here.
Yeah.
Okay. The job interview by Larry J. Maltin, June 2018, a comedy in one act. Synopsis. The old villain of Murders Are Us, LLC, a film production company, quits in a huff over creative differences. As head of the company, you put yourself in charge of hiring a new villain for your projects. Little do you know, a real assassin is a client. Here's how the interview goes. Characters. Boss. Ed Ward. Head of Murders R Us, LLC. Any age, sex, or ethnicity. Applicant. Konstantin
Kablukovsky.
Kablukovsky. Male, any age from 30 to 75. Any physical build, any ethnicity. A bit of a dandy. Extremely well-groomed and smartly dressed. Has a hair trigger temper. Time and setting. It is the present in Boss's small windowless office in a Long Island Industrial Park film studio. Downstage are a single desk and two chairs facing each other, some pictures on desk, a notepad and pen. Office can be anything from bare to elaborately decorated in movie motif. Poster of murder movie on wall. On rise, Boss is sitting at desk, working on some scripts. Looking up, takes a deep breath.
Next.
Applicant enters and looks around curiously.
Come in. I'm Eddie Ward. Everyone here just calls me boss. You are,
Kablukovsky. Konstantin Kablukovsky.
right, Mr. Kablu, is it all right if I just call you Konstantin?
No problem, but my friends call me Connie.
Okay, Connie it is. So Connie, I hope you don't mind, but the first thing I've noticed about you is that you speak English without a Russian accent. I mean, you know, with a name like Konstantin Kablukovsky, whatever.
I was born in Brooklyn and grew up here on Long Island. My great-grandparents came from the Ukraine. That accounts for the Kablukovsky. The Konstantin is in memory of my great-grandfather. In the old country, he was a local hero of sorts, if you catch my drift.
He doesn't catch his drift, but is clearly embarrassed.
Oh, I'm sorry, no offense intended. I shouldn't have assumed, but I'm sure you
Happens to me a
understand.
lot. It used to really make me angry when people made stupid assumptions like that. Do you know that in the past 4 years I've been enrolled in 3 mandated anger management classes? I dropped out of all of them. I had tiffs with every one of the instructors. They were so rigid in their thinking, it was impossible to... Well, lately I think I've learned to keep a better check on my temper, at least most of the time.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, that's all right.
Well, to start us off, let me tell you a little about Murders Are Us, LLC. MRU is an independent producer of comedy films. Our tagline is MRU, that's Murders Are Us, films are so funny you'll die laughing. All of our films have murder as the common element. We don't actually show a murder taking place, we just allude to it. Showing an actual murder taking place would be in poor taste, don't you agree?
I suppose.
So Connie, tell me what brings you here.
Well, I saw a posting of an acting position on my supermarket bulletin board. Unfortunately, people aren't always considerate. Someone had torn off the job description, leaving only the contact information. I thought I'd check it out anyway. I figured it couldn't hurt. Besides, I really could use a change from what I've been doing.
Just so you know, I'm looking to book a new villain. My last one quit in a big huff.
He was touchy?
I think he was tired of playing the villain all the time, but that's another story. Have you ever done any acting?
Well, in high school I was in the drama club. They cast me in just about every play they put on during the 4 years I was there. All except the musicals.
How come?
It was out of compassion to the audience.
Oh, can't sing, huh?
Nope, not a note.
How about dancing?
Even greater compassion. Picture a drunken elephant trying to silently walk tiptoe across the stage without stepping on anything. That's me, the elephant.
You're right. That's quite a picture.
I always wanted to be the leading man. Instead, every play I was cast as the villain. In the school yearbook, my classmates voted me as the villain most likely to succeed.
You know, that's very...
As a matter of fact, I was in so many plays that by graduation they made me a thespian.
How come all of that isn't on your resume?
Oh, I figured because it was only high school. Then again, didn't someone once say that the whole world is a stage and we're actors on it? So as long as I live, I'm acting, right?
That was Shakespeare in his play, As You Like It. All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts.
Yeah, you got it. That's what I mean.
So, why don't you tell me a bit more about yourself?
Well, I am meticulous about my appearance, especially my hands. I have a manicure at least once a week, more if I happen to chip or break a nail.
Yes, I can see you take pride in your appearance. What else can you tell me about yourself?
Animals. I love animals. All animals, except cats. Kittens are okay, but cats? They just sit there with their big eyes and look right through you. Oh, they give me the willies.
So come to think of it, you're right. Cats do seem to study you when they look at you.
A few months ago, just as I was heading out to do a job for the Mortagrazzi family, I came to a building on fire. In the second floor window, there was an orange kitten meowing.
What did you do?
Well, I thought I'd risk my life to save a kitten. As I said, I don't even like cats that much, but there I was, climbing up a tree next to the building, black smoke coming from the roof, all to rescue some stupid kitten.
You'll never catch me doing something like that. I'm terrified of heights. You should see me driving over a bridge into the city. It isn't pretty. Thank goodness for the Queens Midtown Tunnel, or I'd never get off Long Island.
I have no problem with heights. You know, kittens are not very cooperative when windows are smashed and strangers trying to grab them.
Yes, but go on with your story.
Well, I climbed down with the kitten stuffed in my jacket. You should have seen my hands. It was such a mess. Scratched and bloody, nails broken, and cuticles torn. I almost cried. I had to go to the manicurist right away to fix the damage. I never go on a job without my hands looking perfect. That's so unprofessional, don't you think?
I suppose. What was the job you were headed to get to
The
again?
job? Oh, I speak to people privately. This next contract job was speaking to a loose-lipped member of the Mortagrazzi family. Since he did smack, everyone called him Sticks. But Sticks had a worse problem. Trust me when I tell you, this one was really serious.
My God, man, what could be more serious of a problem than being a heroin addict?
Doing smack is nothing compared to what else he did. He sang to the feds. Now, it was my job to speak to him privately. In my line of work, speaking to someone means to take him for a ride, with or without his consent, if you follow what I'm saying.
Laughing nervously, realizing that Connie must be a real assassin.
You're pulling my leg, right?
No, no. That's the truth. I never joke about my work.
You are serious. Work like that must be very challenging.
It is! You have no idea! After that last job, I went for dinner at my favorite restaurant. Foie gras, sweetbreads, white truffles, and a bottle of rare with vintage wine.
To relax and unwind, I presume, huh?
Mostly to unwind and to plan a vacation. It was to be a reward for a job well done. I decided to spend a month in Norway just because I'd never been there. I wanted to see their zoos and aquariums. The northern lights were a beautiful bonus. It was fun, especially seeing the animals. Yes, life is indeed good.
Regretting the sarcastic tone of the previous remark.
You seem to really enjoy life.
Oh, as much as I can.
So, I guess everything is going smoothly.
The truth be told, I'm leaving the Mortagrazis. Some of the jobs they insist on giving me seem so senseless.
In what way?
Look, I take pride in my work. It's so hard when all the jobs you get are cleaning up other people's messes. I hate being the cleaner-upper. Everyone calls me the fixer behind my back. And there's no opportunity for me to exercise my creativity. Oh, I'm not complaining, but you understand, but I do have a degree in business administration. I'd give anything to work indoors in a nice, quiet office somewhere. I don't need the money that badly. I like to do something that is creative, and acting is creative, right?
Well, yes, I
Say, this job of villain you're looking to fill, it isn't all outside work, is it? I have very sensitive skin, you know.
No. There will be, there will be some, but it depends upon the script. Now, speaking broadly, you'll have control of how you execute your assignments. More specifically, you will have a free rein to utilize your creative side, but only with the approval of the directors.
That's good. I don't take orders too well. Plus, I like the idea of utilizing my creativity.
Now, in your line of work, have you ever had to do a job that you regretted having to do?
Yeah. A few years ago, the blowhard wannabe real estate tycoon hired me to set up a sham realty corporation. The idea was to swindle elderly people by having them make worthless real estate investments. At first, I didn't realize it was a fake corporation. Then I found out what his real intent was. That made my skin crawl.
So what did you do about it?
Well, as soon as I began getting phone calls from all those old people crying to me that they lost their life savings in those worthless investments, I quit. Unfortunately, I couldn't give them any of their money back, but at least I wasn't associated with him and fake company anymore.
Tell me about some of the other things you've done outside of work.
Well, I donate some of my time to the local veterinarian. You know, I feed the dogs on Sundays.
Anything else?
Well, several years ago, I was involved in a community service project. Yeah, I spent the whole 3 months cleaning the town beaches.
What was that like?
Oh, you won't believe what slobs people are. They leave their garbage everywhere. It was my job to pick it all up. What would it have taken for them to walk over and toss it into a trash barrel? Oh yeah, I helped the environment, but if you ask me, it would have been far more helpful and permanent for the environment to just get rid of the people who are messing things up, right?
Okay, I suppose that would be one solution. Just get rid of the slobs. No slobs, no mess.
Those 90 days were the worst days of my life, worse than the times I was in prison. And also, you should have seen my hands after that.
You were in prison?
Yeah, a few times. Nothing for you to worry about. Just some minor misunderstanding with some of the people who I had to take for a ride, if you follow what I'm saying.
Stares shocked and speechless at applicant as what Connie said finally hits home. Connie is a real assassin and boss could be next. Nervously, boss changes the subject and tacks.
So, tell me, Connie, have you a degree in business? You have a degree in business, and you told me you'd like to work in a quiet office. Then why would you even consider signing on with us as a villain, no less? You realize you won't be in an office at all, and it's never quiet on the set.
Hoping now he'll turn down the job without being angered.
Oh, and then there are these directors. I'm not proud to tell you this, but often they can get very difficult to work with. You know what I mean. I get rid of them, but they've got a really strong union.
Let me be honest with you here. Nobody wants to hire me because of my age. They don't come out and say that, but I'm not dumb. I know what's in their minds. So much for changing my line of work.
Oh, well, we don't have any age problem here. Not that we've had this chance to talk. Do you have any questions?
Connie's sweet face changes while staring coldly at Boss, every inch of him an assassin.
You aren't going to make a big deal about my professional experience, are you?
Oh, no, heavens, no. Remember, you told me that, you told me that they always cast you as a villain, and you resented that. Well, now, you do know the job we have here is for a villain. And as I said to you, the last one walked off in a huff over some creative differences on set. You seem to me to be a perfectionist, and you're sure you'll be able to take direction? Our directors are very demanding, and we have a limited shooting budget. Disputes with the cast are very costly.
You did say I would have latitude in how I would be able to do my work. Or didn't I hear you right?
Yes, you will, but you know, the director always has final say. Now, if you're even the slightest bit uncomfortable with that, I fully understand. Trust me, as you see, it can be no other way.
Are you making me an offer with restrictions?
I think you would make a most interesting villain for the future productions at Murders Are Us, but I'm afraid you must agree to the conditions. I'd rather you turn us down now and walk away as a friend than have you walk out mad at us after shooting starts.
You see what you've done? Now I'll have to think about this. You'll hear from me. Don't you worry now. I'll get back to you, one way or another. In the meanwhile, I need a manicure. I never go on a job without my hands looking perfect. Oh, that's so unprofessional, don't you think?
Mm-hmm.
Boss blanches at the implied threat. Lights down, curtain.
Yes, I think it's great. I wish I had been a little bit more gruff and a little bit like,
Frankly, I think
No,
he was a
really?
great assassin.
You know, I pictured him more like, who was the man who played, I'm gonna say the Godfather type, what's his, no, Tony Soprano, what was
Oh,
his?
yeah.
If I had been a little bit more like him, but I guess it could work both ways.
Yeah, no, it was great, Ralph. The
Thank
whole
you.
bit was fabulous.
Well, thank you. It's wonderful to see you come to life.
And boy, did you develop that, Larry.
Well, it was,
Time I
you
saw
said it was trash, so I had to.
I didn't say that.
Well, anyway, a lot of people helped me with their reactions and their thoughts and their ideas. So this is the almost end product. It's never the end. You can always find something you can tweak or change, but I find writing humor so very difficult. And it was just the idea of what would happen if a villain
Applied to be villain.
if an assassin applied for a villain's job. How ridiculous could it get? So,
That's great.
thoughts, ideas, suggestions?
I have a suggestion, but you may have done so much work on this already, that you know what you're doing. I would completely understand that. But I was thinking, you have a character who's so colorful, so interesting, so full of surprises. And the other fellow, for a good part of it, is almost like a straight man to him. And it could be more fun if he was eccentric in some way also, that complemented the other one. I know it's very hard to do.
Interesting thought, I'll definitely think about it. But I just for all of you to know, I try to write, or some point in the past to going forward. All of my pieces, for any sex and any ethnicity and any age. And so the boss, played by Dan, is Edward. However, if it was a woman, it would be Edwina Ward. And that's why they call Edward or Edwina boss, so we don't have any problem with sex. And I thought it would really be hilarious if the assassin were a short guy, 200 pounds or something. Or perhaps well, I originally thought perhaps a girl might play it, a woman, or somebody in a clerical garb, but.
I think if a woman played it, all this thing about the hands and skin wouldn't be as funny.
Yeah, well, the final decision was I decided it would have to be a man.
Yeah, but that was a good dichotomy, having elegant, so to speak, or refined in his presentation to the world, and yet doing what he does.
Yeah.
I think when the boss is a man, he's getting the feeling that, wait a minute, this guy is, but he can't show that he's nervous about this guy being a killer. So he's got to put up a front. A woman wouldn't do that. She would be more emotional about this and squeamish about it, and would project that, and that would play off him.
Yeah, Charlie, that would probably be best left in the domain of the director, who would look at the stage director and say, cast it himself.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good point.
Stan?
I was trying to think ahead and where there would be an extra twist. And I thought perhaps what was going to happen was, after it was understood that he really was an assassin, that the job offer became not an acting offer, but another kind of offer.
All right, but then it would exceed the 15-minute limit.
No, well, that's where I thought it might be going.
Who's he gonna kill?
The
actor that
his
quit?
his partner, his wife, we don't know.
Yeah, the bosses or somebody.
Well, not if this is a casting director who's having a lot of trouble with the director of the movie.
Right.
And I just think, but you're a wonderful play to stage, but if you're playing the boss, I would think there has to be a moment where the boss realizes who he is, that he is an assassin, and then how does that change the boss's behavior after that? So that even you don't have to change any lines, but it's hard to do when you read it for the first time, but that's an interesting, another dimension to this piece.
I had that kind of in
Yes,
mind.
yes.
Yes. Dan was backing away from it.
Was
He
he?
kept getting
Yeah.
closer.
You could always play around too with another possible way to go with it, which is now that the boss actually understands his other profession and the other director has been driving him crazy, he could actually have him do a favor for him in that regard too. And that, like Sam was saying too, is that kind of like taking that twist, but you can make it kind of like spin a little bit earlier than everything finishing a little bit longer than you think. I think you could do it within 15 if you want to go that route.
Thank you, I tried to get
And so what are your rates?
Alternate ending.
I'd say, well, the director was looking for a certain kind of person, but maybe he could be persuaded to accept someone like you, or, I don't know.
Or an audition.
You really can't write, and I shouldn't say, I'm a playwright, you really can't write somebody else's play. You can just, they have to do it
But I
themselves.
love hearing reactions. Because,
I know, inspiration, right?
Yes, yes. Thank you ever so much.
Now you can go home and rewrite. Now, did you bring,
I did, but I think maybe it's too
you think
late.
it's too late? Oh, it's almost,
We can, if you wanna put me in early in the line of